Please like this video. I really need your support right now. It's the only way this story can reach more people. Thank you so much for being here with me and for your support. The room at the Birch was warm and low-lit, a trio in the corner doing old standards. We were halfway through a red when Serena raised her glass and tapped it with a fork. Her parents looked up, Martin already smiling, Elaine poised with her napkin like a judge. "You've always been convenient, Dan," Serena said, full voice, not a whisper. "Comfort and advantage, that's our whole deal." Martin clapped slowly like it was clever. Elaine hovered her wine with a nod that said amen. The table next to us glanced over. I set my napkin down, watched the drummer brush the snare, and decided I'd give everyone a clear picture. "I'm going to finish my steak," I told her, "and then I'm going to address what you just said." "It's a joke," Serena flicked back. "Relax. Finish your thought," Martin laughed. "We're among friends." "We are not," I said. "We're among witnesses." I let the server refill my water, swallowed, and laid it out in a tone I use when I price a contract. 40,000 went into the gallery last quarter when vendors threatened to walk. I paid your sign installer, your framer, your ad guy. The roof on your parents' place. Contractors were calling my phone, not yours, so I cleared those invoices. Elaine's wine club books were a mess, so I brought in my accountant to keep the state off your doorstep. Elaine stiffened. "That was temporary." "Convenient is temporary," I said. "This is a pattern." Serena tilted her head like I'd told a bad story. "You're overreacting." "It's not a joke when you run me down to my face with an audience," I answered. "It's not a joke when you frame a marriage as a vending machine." "You're so serious," Martin said. "It kills a room." "I'll survive," I said. I took my wallet out, pulled a card, set it next to Serena's glass. "That's my office line. If you want to talk about respect, schedule it. Tonight's done." "You're leaving?" Serena blinked. "For the record," I added, standing, "I sold my share of a San Francisco project before an IPO because you wanted Austin. I committed to your city and your gallery. That was for us, not for comfort." "Don't make this dramatic," Serena said. "I'm not. I'm being precise." I put my chair in. "Enjoy your wine." I walked out to the valet. The night air was warm and tasted like cedar. If that was their truth, fine. From here on, I set the rules. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have brought a clipboard and a stopwatch. Morning hit with burnt toast and polite silence. Serena stood at the kitchen island in one of my old shirts like it was a costume, clicking through her tablet. The coffee machine choked once before doing its job. "So about last night," she started without looking up. I said what everyone already knows. "You're convenient." "That's your thesis," I replied. "Do you love me, or do you love what I provide?" She gave me that thin shrug people give when the answer costs them. "That's a loaded question." "It's a simple one." "You make a good life," she said. "That's not love." "Look," she said, impatient, "you take things too literally." "I take insults literally. I also take decisions literally." I grabbed my keys. "Today I'm acting on that." "You're mad." "No," I said. "I'm done being the easy button." I left before she could test another line. In the elevator, I reviewed a checklist I drafted months ago during a quiet weekend when she'd blown off dinner to network, and I'd sat with a pen asking myself what I'd do if the lights really went out. The Reed Logic penthouse has floor-to-ceiling glass. Austin looks clean from up there, wide streets, a river like a polished belt. Alvarez, my COO, met me at the conference table with his sleeves rolled and a binder. "You're early," he said. "That good or bad?" "Good for us," I said. "Bad for open tabs with my name on them." He set the binder down. "Package is ready. Account segregation, new approvals, updated card limits, revocation letters." "Execute all of it," I said. "As of now, no personal access tied to the business. Anything that exists gets shut. Any lingering permissions under Serena's email, gone." He nodded. "Practical. Got it. And the gallery vendor accounts you on board. Move them to her company's EIN. They get paid by her, not us." "You sure, Dan?" "There'll be fallout." "I'm allergic to fallout," I said. "We're just cleaning data." He smirked. "Copy that." We signed and countersigned. He called compliance while I watched the lake flash in the sun. A comm office does more than any apology. When the last form was in, he glanced up. "Anything else?" "Yeah," I said. "Her brother Connor. Pull his file." Alvarez slid a folder across. Late 3 times last week. Burned a client call. I've warned him. Then do it by the book, I told him. Documented cause. He gets standard severance. No special treatment. Understood. By mid-afternoon, emails went out. Systems updated. The guardrail was up. I drove home onto a street with live oaks leaning over it like they owned the block. Serena was at the dining table with mail spread around like a war map. I need the login for the company card, she said, like it was a given. There's a deposit due for a venue. No, I answered. Access is revoked. She blinked. So you're punishing me. It's a boundary. The deposit, use your business accounts. You know the gallery's cash cycle. This is petty. Petty is arguing with me in a restaurant, I said. This is policy. You can't starve my work because you're offended. I'm feeding clarity, I said. Clarity is free. She stared at me like she could scratch the answer out of my face. I'll talk to your mother, she said out of nowhere, as if my mother controlled anything in my life. Talk to whoever you want. The process stands. When I went to the garage for a workout bag, she followed. You realize you're confirming what I said. Convenient until you're not. Convenient is over, I said, hitting the door button. Respect is the new price. Let me pause the story for just a second. If you're still here, please hit the like button. It really helps YouTube recommend this story to more people. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the story. Her mouth opened, closed, and then turned into a smile you use on clients you don't intend to pay. We'll see. We did. 2 nights later, Westlake Hills, new house smell, people in linen. Maya and Theo had bought big, and they were proud. I broke off to talk to Theo about contractors while Serena did the rounds, graceful, practiced. By the time I circled to the patio, she'd built herself a small court. 2 friends from the gallery circuit, someone's cousin, a real estate agent in a blazer too tight for the weather. I caught my name in the air before I saw her face. I could drop Dan anytime, Serena said, laughing a little too loud. He'd beg. He's attached. Her friends brightened like kids catching gossip. One of them peered at me over a glass with a smirk that asked if I'd play the clown for them. I took my phone out and stepped to the side where the string lights threw a clean line across the pool. The number I called was already pinned. Patrick, I said when he picked up. Move. Draft. File serve. Start now. That was quick, he said. Reason? No reason needed, I said. But you'll have plenty. Understood. I put the phone away and walked into their circle like I owned stock in it. What's the joke? I asked calm. Maya glanced between us, smile freezing. Serena tried to shrug. We were kidding. You said you could throw me away and I'd beg. I watched her. I don't beg. She tried to adjust the tone. Everyone exaggerates at parties. That's a choice, I said. Here's mine. The divorce process starts tonight. You'll get an email from Patrick in the morning. Communicate through counsel going forward. The laughs went fragile. Even the cousin understood the weather had shifted. Serena's voice turned low. You're embarrassing us. You did that, I said. You're overreacting again. No, I'm redirecting, I said. Enjoy the house. I set my drink on a side table and left. Theo caught me near the driveway. You good, he asked. I'm clean, I said. You want me to talk to her? He offered like a decent man. Not your chore, I told him. But thank you. He squeezed my shoulder once. In my car, I watched the house tilt under the lights and felt none of the tremor she expected me to feel. If you tie your self-worth to being needed, you end up on a leash. I'd cut mine. The first fallout hit on schedule. Martin called at noon the next day. Son, he started, using the word like a tool. My card's being declined. I'm in the middle of a lunch. Then it's a cheap lunch, I replied. This is ridiculous. We had an arrangement. We did. Your gratitude ran out, I said. The transfers are done. Elaine took the phone. This is spiteful. No, I said. This is a correction. You can't just pull support, she huffed. We've built plans around it. Plan around your own income, I said, and hung up. Alvarez pinged me on Connor. Terminated cleanly, the message read. He swore. I documented and escorted. That afternoon Connor showed up in my lobby anyway. Cheeks hot, tie loose. You set me up, he shot. No, I said. You set alarms and ignored them. I'm family, he said, like it was a contract clause. You were. At home, I said. At work you were an employee. Now you're not. He leaned in. I let security come forward a step. I'll get a lawyer, he said, trying to sound dangerous. Get two, I told him. They can read your file together. He left. It felt like dropping a weight I'd been carrying for someone else. Around 5, Mia knocked on my office door. Serena's younger sister. Quiet, competent, the only one who ever sent a thank you card when I helped her land a back office job 2 years back. Got a minute? She asked, hovering in the doorway like she didn't want to consume air. Always, I said, and pointed at the chair. She sat, hands in her lap. They're cutting my position, she said, tone steady. I wanted you to hear it from me, not from noise. I'm sorry, I told her. You're good at what you do. I'll be fine, she said. I just thank you for the chance you gave me. It mattered. You earned it, I said. She stood. Whatever happens with you and Serena, I hope you both do it clean. That's the plan, I said. When she left, I thought about the difference between people who treat help as oxygen and people who treat it as fuel. That night, Serena came to the doorway of my office at home with a glass of something pale and an expression the camera on her phone knows how to sell. I was out of line, she opened. The dinner, the party. I got swept up. I'm sorry. I watched her. Specific apology, I said. That's new. I miss us, she said. That's vague, I replied. She stepped closer, set the glass down, rested her fingers on the back of my chair. Let's talk. We are, I said. Do you love me, or do you love what I do for you? She exhaled through a smile like a teacher negotiating with a stubborn student. I love what we are together. That's another way of saying what I provide. I'm trying here, she said soft. I see the attempt, I said. It doesn't change the policy. You won't even meet me halfway, she whispered. I've been living halfway for a while, I said. Half truths, half gratitude. I'm finishing the other half. I slept fine. The next morning, my phone started buzzing from her parents again. I let it buzz. Boundaries are loud at first. 3 days rolled. Then another play. I came home to a house that smelled like butter and herbs. Serena had the good plates out, candles, a playlist that had our first year buried in it. I'm making dinner, she said, apron and all. Thought we could reset. Smells good, I said, hanging my jacket. I've been thinking, she went on, stirring a pan like she'd done it every night of her life. Maybe I push too hard. Maybe I make everything a transaction. I'll fix it. You'll try, I corrected. She dished, poured, smiled. I want to make this work. Great, I said. I'll need concrete. I'll be softer, she offered. Not a metric, I said. Try again. I'll step back from asking about the business, she added quickly. I'll let you lead. That's closer, I said. It's still talk. Her phone flashed on the counter. Connors's name showed. It buzzed again. She killed the screen too fast. Everything okay? I asked. He's being dramatic, she said. He wants to sue. He can send a letter, I said. The policy won't change. She pushed the plate to me. Just eat. I ate. It was good. I thanked her for the food. She looked relieved, like I'd bitten the hook. I put the dishes in the sink when we finished, wiped the counter, and went to my room. She watched me go with that calculating tilt, like she was measuring the distance between us in inches and planning a route. I stayed the course. I didn't cancel streaming services or petty stuff. I canceled noise. Transfers stayed off. Connor was out. Permissions stayed revoked. Communications shifted to email with a blind copy to Patrick. You can love someone and still handle them like a vendor when they force you to. While the house tried to be gentle, the city kept going. At lunch, Carter Briggs slid into a booth across from me at a place near the office. He's a former cop who learned how to wear a blazer and keep his mouth shut. I'd hired him a week earlier with a simple brief. Timestamps, recordings, no drama, no trail to me. You asked for facts, he said, tapping his phone. I've got 3 points. Go. 1, he said. She met a guy at a restaurant last Thursday, early evening. They know each other well enough to skip small talk. 2, she described you to him as consistent but dull, useful for now. 3, he pushed for a timeline. She said, and this is the part you wanted. I'll leave later. I need a couple more things done. I have audio. He slid a small recorder across. I looked at it and thought of the pan sauce from 2 nights ago. Keep a copy, I said. Email my counsel a summary. I'll decide if I need to play it. Play it, he asked, curious. When it counts, I said. He nodded. You going loud? I'm going precise, I said. The next afternoon, Elaine showed up at the house with a printed budget like she thought I was a board to pitch. Martin followed with a face like a complaint. This isn't sustainable, Elaine said, fanning spreadsheets. We have commitments. I had commitments, I said. They came with disrespect. This is the result. You're humiliating us, Martin said. No, I said. I'm ending a subsidy. You can sell a bottle of wine to your friends without me footing the shipping. You owe family, Elaine shot. I owe respect, I answered. You traded it for jokes. Serena stood behind them in the hallway, lower lip tucked in, eyes searching for a foot in the door. Tell them you'll restart transfers, she said quietly. No, I said. You're going to this extreme over a toast? Elaine asked, shocked at the cause and effect. It wasn't a toast, I said. It was a declaration. Fine, Martin said, snatching the printouts back. I'll remember this. So will I said. It's liberating. They left tight, like new shoes. Serena lingered. They're hurt, she said. They're grown, I said. They'll adapt. You're being cold. I'm being accurate, I said. She folded her arms like a teenager. You said I could fix it. I said you could try, I corrected. This is me watching results. She came closer, touched my sleeve with the tips of her fingers like someone patting a dog they don't want to wake. Dan, I messed up, she said. I know I did. I agree, I said. Then give me a chance. You've had several, I told her. You turned them into negotiation. She pulled her hand back. You really think you can do better than this? Yes, I said simply, starting with peace. She walked off, shoes clipped on the hardwood like punctuation. That evening, I lit the fireplace because it was one of those cool Austin nights that feels like a favor. I put on a game without sound and read through Patrick's draft email outlining the logistics, separate accounts, property lists, communication through council, temporary schedules for the house while we unwound. Clean, boring, adult. Serena came in slower than usual, sat across from me. No wine, no props. I think I ruined it, she said. I think I broke the thing that mattered. Which was? I asked. You, she said, almost convincing. My phone vibrated. Carter's name and 3 words, audio timestamp attached. I opened the file and tapped speaker. Silverware clinked, the hush of a dining room. Serena's voice clear like she was sitting between us. Dan is loyal, she said on the recording. And boring. Useful. I'll drop him later, just need a couple more things handled. A man answered. You promised you'd go. Her voice again. I will. Not yet. I let the room hold it. Serena went pale, then hard. That's out of context, she said. It's a full sentence, I replied. It was a setup. You set it up, I said. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think, I said. I muted the TV, closed the email, and looked at her. It's too late. What are you going to do? She asked, and for the first time there wasn't a plan behind it. Just worry. Finish what I started, I answered. I texted Patrick. Proceed. Then I went to the guest room, pulled 2 suitcases, and packed essentials. You don't need to slam a door for it to close. She watched from the doorway, mouth open, then shut, then open again. You're walking away from everything we built? I'm walking away from everything I funded while being called convenient, I said. I zipped a bag. We'll sort the rest through email. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not, I said, and meant it. I'm done. I moved into a downtown condo that night. Simple lines, calm floors, no ghosts. At Read Logic, the world didn't blink. Campaigns shipped. Alvarez cracked jokes in meetings. My team didn't ask questions. I didn't offer. Serena texted the next morning. We should meet. Patrick replied from my side. All communication through council. She called from a different number. I let it ring. You don't answer phishing lines when you're not fishing. Her response was predictable. She went on a charm offensive. For 2 days, she sent photos of dinners, notes about remember when, links to houses in the hills like future bait. I didn't engage. The transfers stayed dead. Connor threatened me via 3 messages. I sent them to HR, who sent him a formal reminder about confidentiality. He stopped. Maya reached out with a careful paragraph. If you want a friend, I'm here. If not, I understand. She didn't ask for gossip. She didn't pick a side in public. That's what being raised right looks like. 3 days later, Serena switched tactics. She showed up at my office lobby at noon with a bakery box and a look. "We need 5 minutes," she told the receptionist. "You're not on the schedule," my receptionist said. "Mr. Reed sees only by appointment." "It's Serena," she said, playing the card. "I know," my receptionist said. "It still requires an appointment." I met them halfway because I don't make my staff run interference on things I can handle. I walked her to a side room with glass walls. 5 minutes, I said. She opened the box. "Your favorite." "They were my favorite 3 years ago," I said. "Now I eat what's available." "Dan," she said, voice low, "we can undo this. We can do counseling. We can reset. I'll be different. No more jokes. No more access requests. I'll earn your trust." "That's a lot of sentences," I said. "I need actions." "What do you want me to do?" she asked, almost eager. "Stop turning me into a plan," I said. She blinked fast. "I don't." "You do," I said. "That recording just made it audible. You're making a mistake." "I'm making a boundary," I said. She looked at the glass, at herself, at me. "People will talk," she warned. "They already did," I said. "At a party I attended." She pushed the box toward me. "At least take these." I shook my head. "No." She stood, breathing in like she was about to cry. She didn't. She squared her shoulders. "You'll regret this." "I regret not doing it sooner," I said. She left the box on the table and walked out. I carried it to the kitchen, handed it to the team, and told them to eat. They did. Work didn't stop. That evening, Martin called again. "We've been cut off from events," he said, like I'd stolen his hobby. "People ask questions when cards decline." "Tell them the truth," I said. "That our son-in-law pulled support because his feelings got bruised?" He scoffed. "Tell them you were living above your means on someone else's dime, and the dime found a better pocket," I said. "Or don't tell them anything. Either works." Elaine left a voicemail about reputation. I played it once and deleted it. Reputation is what you do when no one's watching. Brands are what you do to cover it. I wasn't in the cover business anymore. Days filled with work again. Quiet. Emails from Patrick landed, and I answered them. Furniture arrangements got sorted. Key fobs changed. Auto payments got canceled. Serena's "I need you"s turned into "we should be adults," which is funny because that's what I'd been the whole time. Mia texted once. "I'm out of my place next month. Found a new job. Thank you for everything." I sent back, "Proud of you." She sent a smile and a period. A week after the recording, Serena asked to meet in our old house to return items. She listed them like a spreadsheet entry. I told Patrick to join and keep it orderly. We met at 6. The house looked like a set. Everything placed, nothing alive. "I'll put my ring on the counter," she said when we walked in. "Do what you want with things," I replied. "This is about process." Patrick sat at the dining table with a folder. "We'll inventory," he said. "Anything disputed goes on a list." Serena handed over keys like she was passing a baton. "You don't have to make this clinical," she said to me. "You already did," I said. She tried one more time. "We had good years." "We had useful years for you," I said. "That's not fair," she said. "It is," I said. She opened her mouth, closed it, looked at Patrick, looked back at me. "Is there anything I can say to change your mind?" "No," I said. "But there's something I can say to close this." "What?" she asked. I stepped around the table, took one last look at a framed photo we hadn't taken down. A lake day with a dog that wasn't ours and smiles that weren't lies yet. Then I turned to her. "You treated me like a plan," I said, cleanly. "I'm not your plan." I walked out. Patrick followed with the lists. Behind me, the house caught the last light, and for the first time in months, I felt my spine untangle. Not triumphant, not broken, just finished. Epilogue is short and honest. You want to know if I landed on my feet? I did, because that's what feet are for. Read Logic doubled our biggest account that quarter. The penthouse office feels earned every time the sun hits the conference table. I bought a place in a quiet corner of the hills. Nothing loud, good shade, a garage with space for the truck I actually drive. I play racquetball with Alvarez on Thursdays. On Saturdays, I drink coffee on a balcony that looks over a strip of greenbelt and plan my week with a pen, not a phone. There's someone new. Not a trophy, not a rescue, not a replacement for noise. She asks me about the work because she respects it, not because she wants to use it. When my phone buzzes, she doesn't crane her neck to count the zeros. We take walks by the water and talk about boring normal things on purpose. I hear things about Serena through the normal channels. The gallery is still open, but the foot traffic isn't what it was, and vendors want deposits wired before they deliver. Events slowed when the easy access to my network dried up. Her friends are polite in public and distant in private. Martin and Elaine scaled down. Connor found a job somewhere he can be laid in peace. Mia moved into a smaller place and sends holiday messages without an ask. Good for her. Do I hate Serena? No, I don't do hate. I do decisions. She made hers. Comfort first, respect later, maybe. I made mine. Respect first, or we don't have a deal. People like to say love is complicated. It's not. Respect is binary. You either have it or you don't. The night at the Birch, Serena made it clear what she saw when she looked at me. A solution, a card, a schedule she could write on. So I did what I'm good at. I solved the problem. And I'm not convenient anymore. I'm just a man who knows his price.